Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Good. Bruce Carter.
My name is JD.
Hey, JD.
So, how are you doing today? Are you doing pretty good?
Man, I'm good. Look,
Hey,
beautiful.
it's sunny.
We had some liquid
Yes,
sunshine.
sir.
Now we got beautiful sunshine.
Exactly. So, gentlemen and ladies, so this is JD. So, I am going around, and I've seen this guy for a couple days. He's got a lovely business here, and he's showing support here. So, what I want to do is, I stopped here. I asked him if I can do an interview with him, and I want him to tell me what he's about, who he is, and who his business is, and what made him do this. So, I'm gonna give the attention to him and let him talk.
All right, JD. Well, I have a nonprofit
Okay.
called RFAA Foundation, which stands for Restoring Families Across America. And when I look at, what happened to
Mhm.
Charlie, I think there's three facts about it that I can be sure. One,
Okay.
he was a husband. Two, he was a father. And three, he was a Christian. And I think that we are losing our way in this country where we believe it's okay to kill someone just because you don't like their views, their opinions, or you don't like the words that come out of their mouth.
Mhm.
And if we don't make a stand, I'm talking about Americans, Christians, then we're going to have chaos because we're already there. But it's going to be, I believe, no point of return.
Right.
So here I come into these towns and I've decided to support the Club Americas, which are the high school chapters,
Mhm.
to make sure those young people who have a desire to do something in the country, that they do not stray away from the reason why they started it. I don't want them getting way over here on some things they don't understand, or way over here because the country is so visceral. And, these young people should not be attacked, but we don't want them to be attacked because a lot of them in this day and age, they can't really take being attacked like that.
Right. Now, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Dallas, but
Okay.
as I told someone, they always say, "Where are you from?" I always say America
Right.
because I spent the last nine, close to 10 years, 300 nights each year across America to better understand some things
Mhm.
I couldn't understand how America could spend billions on the war on drugs, but you still have all the drugs.
Right.
Or you spend billions on a war on poverty, but you still have the poverty. Or the billions that you spend to reduce violence, but you still have the violence.
Right.
So I wanted to become more astute on the political process, where the money goes, and who really doesn't care, and
Mhm.
who is misusing or abusing the funds that we
Right.
deal out every year.
I agree with that. For me, it's hard because we talk about homelessness, but you got all these politicians who are living in these mansions who don't care. They're saying that they're here for us, but are they really here for us?
Well, I think what we've done as a people, we will wear a shirt that says "We the People." We'll say it proudly, but we the people aren't doing crap.
Right.
We're sitting on our behinds or we're in our little echo chambers because nobody wants to have the pushback. So hopefully there's enough people that do care and they are willing to get in the game, to come together with their communities and not stand for certain things that are not good for the community
Right.
and then do the same thing. And so when a person goes to vote, if they only vote because someone is a Democrat or a Republican, I believe that's a problem
Hmm.
because you have people who see I can win over here under this party, so they go
Right.
to that party, or the vice versa. But they really don't always have the people, the benefit of the people at the heart. So I just think that as an American, because that's what I am,
Hmm.
that's how I identify. I believe that there has to be myself and enough Americans that says I don't want my children or my grandchildren. I don't want to pass this on to them.
Right.
And we have to come together. We have to have some common ideas and
Hmm.
goals that we fight for, that you elect people for, and you make sure they do their job. And if they don't do their job, I don't care how much you like them as a person, you get rid of them
Right.
and you try it again until you find people that will do the job.
Right. Like I believe, like you're saying, people are Republican or Democrat just because they're running doesn't mean you need to vote for them. Like I'm in the middle myself. I don't care what side of the party you're on. If I feel like you're the right person, I'm gonna vote for you.
Right.
It seems like nowadays, like especially older generations, they're diehard Republican or diehard Democrat, and they only vote for that. And I
Yeah.
think we as a country, we need to get away from that and use our brain and think for ourselves what we think is right. Instead of, for me, I call it propaganda because that's what I think the media is now. It's just they're brainwashing us, and I mean, I could be wrong, but that's at least my opinion with it.
Well, because America still identifies people with race.
Right,
So, as a black male in America, I have come to find it really difficult for me to vote for a Democrat. Um, the stuff I've endured across the country, the entitlement that because I am black, I have to or should be voting Democrat when no other race is held to that standard.
right,
So, and then when I have traveled in all the urban cores, the large cities, the violence that I've seen, the level of poverty, when you go to talk to these elected officials, they don't care.
right.
I mean, it's like, we got this, but you
Mhm.
can't have it because everything is going down. Nobody's excelling.
Right.
But I have friends and people that I do value that run as Democrats, and I would support them.
But you're still friends with them though,
Oh,
because
yeah,
they're on
yeah.
another side
Yeah,
though.
I'm not going to fall out with anybody over their political views. I'm going to stand on what I stand on, and they can stand on what they stand on, and we can always talk about it.
Right, but you guys are still friends at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's really ignorant for people to fall out if you're really friends.
Right,
But if you have fragile relationships and you decide you want to vote this way, and a person don't deal with you, then it really wasn't a friendship. But I've seen families torn up when at the end of the day, the elected official, the politician, they're going to be gone in 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, unless you keep voting for them and let them stay there. But people have to learn how to love again. They need to understand the value of a life, and they need to know that they have a responsibility. Um, if it was my way, USA would stand for understanding self accountability. Um, I have a way that I need to perform. You have a way you need to perform, and that behavior that we put forth will determine and should determine the outcome.
right,
So if I got a good outcome, I tend to believe that I led the charge. That's why I got a good outcome. If the outcome is bad, I believe somewhere in there, it's my fault that it's bad. Um, but yeah, I just, like I said, I think my message is real simple. As it relates to Charlie's death, anyone that's out there celebrating and making vile comments after man has been murdered, I think you really need to look in the mirror. You need to do a heart check, and you need to try to figure out who you are as a person.
I agree. Like I see all over the media, people are celebrating a man's death because he went out there, he wasn't afraid. He debated anyone. He didn't care who it was. He debated anyone, and for the most part, I think at the end of the debate, they both walked away not hating each other. They both had understanding, I think, for each other, I believe.
Well, I will never speak for where a man's thought process is, but in the videos or at the colleges, you chose to go to the mic.
Right,
So no one forced you to go to the mic. And what I would tell people, if I see something I don't like, guess what? I just don't participate in it.
right.
I'm not going to try to shut you down, be mad at you, because it's conversations that have changed outcomes.
Right.
And the minute, if you're in a relationship, it could be a, a relationship that's a love relationship, it could be a business relationship, it could be a parental relationship. The minute you stop communicating, it's over with.
I
That's
agree.
just the way it is. And so having the ability to talk, to learn, I think is one of the greatest attributes of being an American. And I do believe we're losing that.
I agree. It seems like nowadays everyone wants to, take violence over talking and hashing it out civilly, and it's a shame because everyone thinks of violence is the problem solving and all these riots, and it's not right. I mean,
Well, when you look here, you see freedom here. I'm just baffled that people will give their freedom up.
right.
The young man that shot Kurt Charlie, you're giving your freedom up. I mean, like, either your life, in some cases, or your freedom. So there's something off there. And as I said, it's becoming more and more rampant across the country.
It is. Now, so with you doing this, you've been doing this for a while, you said, right?
Well, with the Patriot buses, this one's called. We're about 3 weeks in,
Really?
but I've had other tours,
Mhm.
um, and I always use them as a meeting point.
Right.
So that means I can wrap a bus with a message. I'm going to bring certain people to the table,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to bring people who don't like the message. But in this day and age, I really wanted to learn and understand the conservative mindset. And I've been able to do that over the last 4 or 5 years. And I have to say, I have traveled this country 10 years. There's not many cities, towns I haven't been in.
Mhm.
And as I was telling someone, I've been in Graham 4 days. And it's probably, I've met some of the nicest people that I've met in America consistently.
Really?
Yes. It's been cool. And for me, I think this is the kind of America that I believe we can
Mhm.
have. And race doesn't mean anything.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm around people, and I either they're like-minded people, but they're people,
Mhm.
and so that's the beautiful thing about what I've
Right.
experienced.
Now, so have you had any backlash with, because it seems like nowadays, like you're saying, before, we're still in a country where it's race, and I think that's wrong. Abraham Lincoln once said this. I'm not going to completely quote it by heart, but I don't know. But I remember, he said, and I listened to this in school, a house is not divided by two. It seems like we got rid of slavery, we got rid of all this, but we're still about the race now, and I think that's wrong. I think people are holding people as you're white, black, what have you, and like that's not the class you need to be in. You are who you are. That's it.
So, two things there. Division is profitable.
Hmm.
So, if I can divide anybody, I can profit. Whether it's control, whether it's money, whether it's prestige, whatever it might be.
Right.
So that's one thing within itself. If you use race as an identifier, just like you would use skinny and fat, tall or short, muscular or not muscular, um, then I think it's okay.
Hmm.
But if you use a person's skin color as a form of who they are, then I believe we've crossed the line.
I agree.
So if I had to give a description to the police, I would say, hey, he was a white guy. He had a cap on, he had some boots on,
Mhm.
and he was driving an Escalade. That's okay
Right.
because I was using that as a description of someone.
Exactly.
But if when people talk about DEI or they talk about civil rights, you and I know through history, because we weren't there, that slavery existed in America and it ended. You and I do know, or I know, that people, either because of their skin color, their network, can get opportunities
Right.
when some can't,
I completely agree.
right? So I'll give an example. If you know somebody that knows somebody in the Trump administration, you can get a pardon. If you knew somebody that knew somebody in the Biden administration, you can get a pardon.
Exactly.
That's the way it works.
Right.
Because of the network. I would like to see people have to earn everything they get, right?
Right.
I would like to see, whether it's me or you, that when I go in to do something, you test me, everybody else gets the same test, and whoever the best applicant is, then they get it.
Right.
Or you may say on merit. But that's not the world we live in.
It's not, because it seems like now I've seen a lot about this lately. Is like you're saying, you got to know someone to know someone, and that's not even just in the political world. That's just that's the workforce. That's everywhere, and it seems like like you either are someone or you're not. You either know someone or you don't. You either have money or you don't. And I
Right.
think that's especially now with when you add that into everything else that matters now. It seems like, and it's wrong.
And I think what has happened in the country, we have too many people that are hopeless now.
Yeah.
And I always say, where you have hopelessness, you will not have civility,
Hmm.
because hopeless people are dangerous. They don't care about themselves normally. That means they don't care about me. So, as a country, as a group of people, I believe we all bear the responsibility to try and help those in our immediate space.
Right.
But if a person doesn't want help, great. At least the help was made available
Exactly.
to them. So
Now, I'm a strong believer in that. So I don't know. Have you ever heard of the Chris Lee Knows Best, the TV show,
yes,
and Todd and Julie Chris, who were pardoned by Donald Trump?
yes,
So I got really interested in that. I got really deep into it. And I'm a strong believer in. And I listened to, I believe, Savannah say this. She says, if you want to be someone, you got to be around people who are someone. If you want to be successful, you got to be around people who are successful. If you don't want to be nothing, and if you're surrounded by people who say, "Oh, it is what it is," those are the most dangerous people.
yeah. Our man once said, if you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th broke person.
I agree.
So yeah, we definitely need to put ourselves in the circle of people who are like minded or we'd like to be like. Um, here I've met numerous business owners, and people are kind. They're just kind. But you can, and then the young people that have been up here, you can tell they're kind. Um, Somehow, some way, when you have a town that's roughly 8, 9, 10,000, they have managed to make sure that their core value system works, and it's a good core value system. So I know it's a smaller town, but we got to have that in communities. But in certain communities, we're so far gone, man, that it's unbelievable.
Right.
So
I agree.
I'll do my little part. You'll do your little part.
Right.
Enough other people do their little parts,
Exactly.
and we'll start having some things that come together,
I agree.
and hopefully we get the change we need.
I agree. Now, can you tell me a little bit about your company and what you do so my followers who can come find you or look you up and
Well, this is the nonprofit side. As I said, it's the
Mhm.
patriotbustour.com or at Patriot Bus Tour. And we want to, with this, I want to spread hope in America, and work to restore families. As an individual, I think I was telling you, I'm working on my doctorate in philosophy and counseling to be able to help families, households more so. It's all driven to the household, to help households give themselves a chance to grow, to thrive. And I focused on the things that I believe have disrupted families. One is the non-active father, the father who could be in the house, or the father that left. He's not active in the child's life. The literacy. We're getting to the point where, as America, we're becoming a nation of dummies.
yeah, to
You
say the
can't
least.
read, you can't write. And so what happens is, when you can't read, it's hard to put things in context. So if someone's talking to you and they're using proper English and you don't really understand it, you think somebody's saying something about you. They may not even be
Right.
saying about you.
Well, you
And
think that though, and it seems like that's a lot of people automatically think that nowadays. But it's
yes.
not.
And then the other big thing that this country is facing is low self-esteem. There's so many people, man, that have low self-esteem that it brings anger because everything's an argument. No, I'm giving you some information,
Right.
and I'm giving you information that affects you. and you don't like the information, so we're not arguing.
Right.
And that's something we have to deal with. So if we can get people to know that they're valuable and who they are, just the way they're made, they don't have to do all the extras in life,
Right.
and they're good, then I believe we're going to get to a point where people wake up in the morning ready to be productive versus trying to figure out how I can fit in.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
how y'all doing?
In America, we got customers here who are looking at the merch. So it is a live thing going.
Yes. How are you doing, man? Good, good. This is JD.
Hello. I'm doing a YouTube channel expressing the good people of America. I just moved here to Graham myself, and I see him out, and I'm like, I want to interview him and see what he's about and how he is.
All right. What questions do you have, man? You see the little shirt on the end? That's as close as I want to get to them. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I have a medium in that shirt. If not, y'all got to do y'all girl thing. You got to take that shirt and flip it up and cover. You know what y'all do to it. I support the Club Americas, which is the high school chapters. Okay.
Oh, she's asking very important questions. Pay attention.
Oh, Newcastle? Yeah. They're having their first meeting here this week in Graham. T-shirts are 30, long sleeves are 40, hoodies are 50. You got money? Y'all both got money? Where y'all get some money from? Oh, okay, when was your birthday? Of this month? Well, happy belated birthday. How old you turn? 4? Yours wouldn't be wet though. I'll be here till tomorrow. 7 tonight. Well, 6:30 tonight and 6:30 tomorrow. All righty, thank you. You coming back? All right. So hold on. Which way is Dollar Tree? Okay, come on. You're gonna be my hero today.
All right, y'all
All right,
listen.
you're gonna be my hero today. Do you mind stopping at Chicken Express? You not driving? What you mean no? Both of y'all talking about no. I appreciate that. All right. You gonna remember my order? No. You gonna remember my order? Okay. All right. You ready? I want I'm a big guy, y'all. So don't be mad at my order. All right. I want the 7-piece spicy chicken strip with French fries, a large sweet tea, easy ice. I don't want to eat too much, so easy ice, and corn nuggets, whatever they call them here. Fritters, corn nuggets. French fries. Yes, with a large sweet tea, easy ice. Only in Graham, Texas can you do that, yeah.
Only guys, only Graham.
Oh, thank you so much. All right. So, but this is what life is about.
Well, hey, I appreciate it.
You find nice people, man.
You do. You
And
do.
I just think we got to have more of that.
I agree.
So,
Well, hey, I appreciate your time, sir.
all right, JD.
I'll be sharing your information all over, and
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right, JD. We're out.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. You want my number, JD?
Yes, sir. Let me get it all pulled up, and then I'll get your information. Thank you, sir.